Yo, welcome back, MMB's page, man. Yo, another one. We about to just hit it quick with a quick Dark Caesar. Going with the grain with the one guard midway. All right. It's going to have a dark taper to it. Dark taper just means that you're going to go against the grain around the ears and more towards the actual hairline so that you get a tighter blend when you're going with the grain. All right, you'll notice that a lot of times when you go with the grain, you always get a lot of weight behind the client's ears or at the bottom of the nape, depending on how their head structure is. Pause. All right, so right now I'm just going through it, hitting it with the grain to make sure I get everything nice and smooth and even. After that, you're going to see me use a 1 1/2 guard, which is your magic guard. That guard is like, it don't get no better than that guard. All right, when I first started barbering, we didn't have an actual 1 1/2 because I used to use the Andis guard blade system or guard system, right? So now with that 1 1/2 guard, that gives you the ability to actually go in between that 2 and that 1 with a lot smoother transition without less chipping. But, you know what I'm saying, you want to make sure that you still use all your guards to their efficiency, all right? So now you can see I'm still going through it. I switched up my clippers right quick because my clippers died on me, but, you know, it's all good. Making sure I'm getting everything smooth behind the client's ear because, you know, you want to make sure the client doesn't have any pockets of hair that are going to overgrow your actual cut and your line. Just making sure you're smoothing everything out. After that, you're going to watch me do the tape, dark tape. Then I'm going to actually fade out the back of the nape, line them up, hit them with the enhancements, all that good stuff. All right, this is just a quick video. I didn't want to go too much into the tutorial, but it's just self-explanatory, man. Just watching, you know, watch and learn. If anything else y'all want to see, this, you know, hit me up. Let me know what y'all want to do. It's a rough copy. As always, I always say rough copy, but, yo, it's just me just cutting hair, doing what I love to do, doing my passion, man. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for clipping and barbering, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't have had no direction. All right, so I'm just doing what I do, man. Taking that 1 1/2 right now, going against the grain, knocking off that weight just around the ear, and then also setting in that dark taper, all right? You see how that's a dark taper? It ain't nothing too crazy. I might take my one guard open and hit like the bottom, but right now, just making sure I'm just hitting that dark taper to make sure there's no weight where that line is or around that client's actual ears. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you make a diamond. I take a deaf homie before I take a blind one. It's Butch.
Right now, you're just going to see me break down this taper. I'm going to use that 1 1/2 guard, which I said before, which is my magic guard. And I'm just going to break that down from the 1 1/2 to the 1 to the 1/16th, and then to the open clipper, to the open mid-close clipper, because I'm going back to a skin taper. All right, so just, you know, enjoy the music by the good fellas, you know what I'm saying? And, yo, man, everything's a hustle, man. Make sure you're doing what you got to do to make sure you support your family, whether it's clippers, rapping, merchandise, product, whatever you got, man. Just, you know, do it to your ability to where you know you satisfied. Don't worry about nobody else's opinion, you heard?
Let's hit Manhattan, get the Soho board. You niggas think I'm athletic the way I'm dripping in this polo sport. I'm hitting punches like with Kodo Ford. I'm so pistachio, my shooters know to shoot on sight. I tell them rapido, tell you where them great gats be with no DiCaprio. That's all I gotta say. And Big BSF. I'm acclaimed for displaying pure skill. Out a bucket full of crabs, I emerged. That was pure will. Still know that corner.
All right, next thing you watch me doing, I'm going through the actual cold air. All right, I actually sprayed his hair with some holding spray first. Then I hit the line with some liquid razor to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, I got all the hairs in the right place. And when you use the cold hair, it's going to help for the hair to stand erect, pause. But it's better for that because now when the hair's erect, you can do all your fine tuning. You're going to see me go, you know, do fine tuning, even smoothing out the client's hair with the actual trimmers, right? Now we're going to jump into this line. All right, hit the shape up, boom, boom. You see how those touches with the trimmers is just I ain't working too much for the line. I'm not causing any irritation to the client's neck. And I'm making sure that my surface that I'm actually going to be cutting on is going to be ready for me to do the line. A lot of times, you know, you might see somebody do a shape up and they ain't cut the hair around it. So, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that you have the right precision. So when you touch the line, it's just 1, 2, 3. Quick, you know what I'm saying? Precision, you know what I mean? All right, so I'm just going to go into this lineup, just hit the bid and all that good stuff. Just continue to watch, man. Vibe out with me.
I used to feel like before the script wasn't logical. Now we blitzing the obstacle. This how the rookie feel when he pull a mission impossible. I used to dread the time of pitching grams on the steps. Rest in peace to Owen Hart. I get him slammed to his death. So make another tweet about me. You get bland with this text. Sliding around with chopsticks like this was Panda Express. My cousin used to sell lean, but he quit to jump in the booth again. We call him Tropicana. He back to selling the juice again. But shit, I would've did the same in position. Cause when music don't pay the bills, it's like your pain is resistant. I dropped out of college. I probably should've stayed, but I didn't. Like Effie and Power, cause Kane helped me pay my tuition, my nigga. Step on these niggas every chance that I get.
Preaching. Fuck that nigga. Fuck that. I'ma shoot your ass, motherfucker. Keep on.
My grandfather passed away, his presence hit the snooze. Bitch, I'm a giant from New Jersey, call me Victor Cruz. My grandmother losing vision, she got different views. Now I came to rap like I ain't really got no shit to lose. I put a circle right on your T like it's Telfar. I'm heaven sent, but this hoodie set came from Hellstar. Pistol whip is melon blooder, get all in your braids. That's before I let it go like Frankie Beverly and Maze. Jean jacket came from murder, bravado. A nigga heard that she swallowed, but she be begging, so I curve her tomorrow. The blicky got a crimson trace that mean a beam far. Don't make me pull it just like a Carisha please card. Come to your city and spray Lisa.
All right. So as you see, I'm going through everything, making sure I'm fine-tuning, always making sure I'm combing that line. All right, as I'm combing the line, I'm also making sure that as I comb the line, I'm combing the hair forward towards the line. All right, I don't want to comb away from the line. I want to make sure I'm combing towards the line, so that every time I comb, anything that overlaps my line, that makes my line pop, I'm going to make sure that's being presented. All right? You want to always make sure, like, when your client goes home and brushes their hair, wash their hair, whatever they do, your line is still there, because that's what's going to bring them back. All right? From here, we're going to see ABCs on both sides as I teach all my students. The next thing we're going to do, after that, we're going to start with the front of the hairline, and then you can watch how I work my magic with that. Stay tuned.
Yet here he is standing in front of me waiting for an answer, but I don't have that. All I can say is because I'm good. These are the real Sopranos.
Who else gonna do the job if it's not BSF, nigga? Who really breaking generational curses off this shit? On both sides of the fence, you heard?
Just making sure you fine-tuning that line. You see me going with the grain with them trimmers. That's just to lay them a little extra bit of hairs down, starting from that middle, and then creating that actual line. All right? Tap, 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 comb. Always combing. Make sure your client's head is in the right position for you, you know what I'm saying, and get you the good line. Pause. Always combing towards that line. Always working. Always fine-tuning with everything.
Temptations. You ever watch the DEA tucked under the door and rip like $20,000 stuff from under the floor? You swear to tell the truth but lie while under government law and stuff your foot on more white than a Montgomery brawl. The only nigga from my neighborhood with a deal cause I'm passionate. So when you draw comparisons to these niggas, embarrassing. And Fritz gon' post the EP cover every release. Cause if the album flop, we trapping bricks like Terry and Meech. My nigga, I'm from a different cloth and you ain't cut right. You used up too much soda, that ain't cut right. Could take a project bitch and make her uptight. Shook off every L to make her M. I live a tough life. Yeah, I'm from a different cloth and you ain't cut right.
You're going to watch me create that imaginary line in these corners right here. All right? All that fine-tuning, combing, you making sure that you're creating that imaginary line. I'm not going crazy into this line, but you're going to watch me create a line from thin hair. And that's what barbering is, man. You creating nothing into something by each tap of them. Ooh, them trimmers is clicking, boy. You can't even front on my joint right now. You heard? Pause. But you know, every time you comb, you want to make sure you hit creating that actual definition in your line. So when your client leaves, they leave out your chair feeling like a star, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't just do this just to make money, man. I love what I do. I've been doing this for a long time, and just watch my steps.
No time to boast. Let's sell his coat. Winter time, he only wanted a dime. He sold his coat. Yeah, breaking news, another overdose. So you know, man, I'm about to cut it like I'm trying to crop a photo.
I'm from a different cloth and you ain't cut right. You used up too much soda, that ain't cut right. Could take a project bitch and make her uptight. Shook off every L to make an M, I live a tough life. Yeah, I'm from a different cloth and you ain't cut right. You used up too much soda, that ain't cut right. Could take a project bitch and make her uptight. Shook off every L to make an M, I live a tough life. Yeah.
Alright, next thing we're going to do, we're going to follow that precision razor work, right? Always making sure you're stretching and just bringing the hair to you, not going to the head. You don't want to go into the line. Remember, you just want to clean up everything around the line. Just like when you're doing enhancements, you're going to watch me do in a second after this. You know what I'm saying? Or I might have had did it already. Pause. Pardon. But you want to make sure that you always bringing everything to the line. Don't try to go to the line with the razor, because if you go into the line, that means you're going to, you know, start pushing somebody's actual hairline back. You don't want to push a line. You want to create the line. You heard? You know what I'm saying? So watch me do my razor work. I'm a lefty, so, you know, it's a little different from, you know, from the righty side. But you always want to lead with the point of your razors and make sure that you're taking each little hair follicle out, creating that definition in that line. All right? And I didn't do the enhancements yet. You can still see me rocking that imaginary line to bring that definition. All right, so that's why when you go with the grain on certain clients' hair, when they have light corners, you want to make sure you do more fine tuning towards the corners so that you can make sure you keep all the hair that you need to be able to create that tight line that you want. All right, pause. But cut looking good, man. You know what I mean? Clean up everything, making sure your client. All right, always start with leading with the tip of your razor, pause, or the front of your razor. Make sure you bring everything to life, man. So, like, now when I add the enhancements to this line, that's when you're going to be like, wow, okay, that makes sense. Because you don't want to add enhancements and do the line. You want to enhance your line, not have the line get enhanced by the actual enhancements. All right? But just, you know, just clean it up now underneath the client's neck, pause. Clock coming out clean, man. He went from ashy to classy. Steelers all day. Don't ever forget that, you heard? But you know what I'm saying? I'm just, you know, loving my craft, doing what I do.
Presidential with tax fraud. The entrepreneurs that really used to have a sniff game rap. Hit my assistant for discussions, nigga, this ain't that. Used to maneuver white Hondas, not a door. I'ma blow up like a suicide bomber, nigga, you decide karma. Am I my brother's keeper, nigga? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper, nigga? Yes, I am.
See, now I'm going to add the enhancements. Line already clean and crispy. Then you just add, like, the extra sauce to the backdrop. Like Picasso, fam. You know what I'm saying? I'm, like, talented, man. Definition of a line, using the enhancements to bring that line that you already created with your actual clippers. Because when all that little bit of enhancement wash out, you want to make sure your client still has a line, something that they could be like, I bet my shit still look Gucci. So you gonna wash his hair in, like, you know, like at least a week. You heard? So you want to make sure that you know, your clippers work, man. My trimmers work, man. My clippers work. That's what I do.